Going on? What's going on, people? This is Lawrence D. Adams. Yes, I'm live, and the man is in the back in the green room. He's about to come up soon. What's going on, my good people? My good people. What's going on? How are you doing? This should be a good one. Two men with spiritual knowledge as well as game. Yeah, tapping in Motu. What's going on? McCain, what's going on? Joe, what's going on? Hit the like when you come in. This is Lawrence D. Adams. The man is in the green room. I see him, but you can't see him yet. So we need to get the likes up. We need to see. I need to let you know, let y'all know y'all ready for what we about to do. Because we'll bring your notebook, pads, whatever you need to do, because we're about to tap in. This is this Midwest game y'all ain't never heard before. And we're going to talk about today what a pimp knows that the average man needs to know. Y'all better get your notebooks. I got them backstage. I see them. And when I bring them up, y'all better be, it's about to be ridiculous. And let me tap it on the other side so I can see what's going on. He is definitely backstage. He's ready to go. I can see him. I can see the smile. I know my brother. So he's raring to go. That's right, Pimp, LDA, Pimp God and LDA. We are here. You will not get a combination like this ever. Ever. Dre, y'all ready? Let me bring him on. The one and only Pimp God, Warren B, all the way from, I think it's in Virginia right now, but salute to, there we go. There's the super chat already. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, shout out to Warren B, Pimp God. Y'all better show some love, because dude is back. He's backstage. I'm trying to bring him up to the green room. You know how they do in the green room? I'm trying to bring him up. He's coming up. Y'all better let me know y'all want him up here. Let's get some fire signs in this chat room, because what we about to share right here, you ain't heard nowhere, because the combination. I got to drink some Red Bull right now because I've been going on 100 since. He's backstage. I see him. I need one more super chat to bring him up. One more super chat to bring the man up. One super chat to bring him up. Come on. My good people, one super chat to bring him up. One super chat to bring the man up himself. You can't disrespect this. Remember, I did a whole show about time yesterday. You can't disrespect his time. You got to put some value on his time, because he's a busy man. You see, he got shoes, he got clothes, he got toner for your skin, he got cologne. I need one more super chat. There we go. There's the other super chat, bruh, because I love the game. Motu. Here he is, the man himself, Warren B, Pimp God, who is very exclusive. You can't get to him just any kind of way. He doesn't go on everybody's channel. He doesn't do interviews. You only will see him with one other person that I know of, and that's Ron Wills. And that is the one and only Pimp God himself. Let's get it on. Let me see what you say, Alpha. You said something. Okay. Bro, you skipped the most important part of the message. What's that? I don't know what I didn't see the message. My fault. Let me see what you said. Love you, bro. Shout out to Warren B. Okay. I don't know what more I meant, but let me bring him up. No further ado, the man himself, Warren B. What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm chilling.
All right.
Everything's good.
Look at, wait a minute. Let me put the highlight on this shirt right quick. Put that shirt in the camera shot, man. Let me drop this right here. What does that say?
That's my rose gold collection. The PG with the PG logo.
See,
from a rose gold collection.
Do you see what's going on? I just happened to throw in this shirt today because I needed to step out. But let me highlight what I'm doing here.
That's right.
We only look at that. You gotta rock.
Okay.
You gotta do it. You gotta represent you.
That's right. No doubt.
Right. So let's go. Peace. So please hit that like button, hit that super chat. You skipped the most part of the message, man. I didn't know what part of the message. Okay. Definitely. Let's this is part 2 to what we did last month, which was on another level. I don't think they were ready for it.
Right.
I don't know what. I'm gonna see what he's saying. What? Okay. You skipped the live part. Just say the shout out. Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay. You message me on my phone. So here we go. This is part 2 we talked about last week. And I think you came in, last month, and you think you said something about what the pimp knows that the average man needs to know.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have the spiritual spin on it and game on it. Let me emphasize this. I've been knowing this man since before 6th grade.
Right. Absolutely.
There got another super chat. Shout out to Midwest Max, game at its highest level. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat right there. I want to make sure I give that love right there. I didn't put this one on Facebook because, some of the people we both know, they ain't ready for this.
Right.
So let's get started. So what made you want to talk about what the pimp knows that the average man needs to know? Let's jump into it.
Okay. I basically was looking at what's lacking in manhood, and that is an in-depth understanding of women and our relationship to women. We don't understand what that dynamic entails. And the long short of it is our role in relationship is really to be a servant, not to God or to our purpose, but to her. And that's problematic because man's role is to become master of the earth and master of the laws that govern creation. So we're called to be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, not to serve a woman. She's supposed to be serving us in our purpose. That's why they call her a helpmeet. And so everything is backwards, it's upside down. And so business is about finding a need and filling it. So that's why I took that approach, because there's a need that's there.
Right. And let me say this, and let me say this so everybody knowing. Just because we're making a reference to pimping, we're not saying for you to go out and be an actual pimp out there and have somebody on the track on Prospect. You know what about Prospect is one of the local tracks here in Cleveland. It was back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
So I'm not saying that for someone to go on the track, but what you can do is learn from their methodology and their mindset on what they do and how you can be, the average guy can be better when they're dealing with women. Right.
Exactly. Yep. And that's the whole thing. It's just learning what they know. And so Malcolm X made a statement, and I started my book out, Pimp God, with his statement. He said, most men need to know what the pimps knew. He said that a woman is to occasionally be baby.
Talk about it.
But beyond that, she should be treated firmly. And so basically what we're really talking about is order. The Bible says that God is not the author of confusion. The feminine principle in and of itself represents chaos, not chaos in a negative sense, but chaos in the sense of that which needs to be counterbalanced with direction. So the man's role is to bring order to chaos. And when you don't bring that order, then you get pulled into her world of chaos. You see what I'm saying? And she's going to test you to see if you're about that life. She wants to know if you're about that life. Are you about the life of order and direction? And that's key.
And I think a lot of guys, because they have been living in chaos, say from childhood or from dealing with their mother and this is no slight on mothers, but I'm saying this because they've been used to chaos. So they bring chaos to the woman that they're dealing with. Instead of saying, no, let me bring order. This is how it needs to be.
Right.
And so what happened is the energy between them is completely off, because now you have a hurricane over here and you have a tsunami over here, and all you have is chaos, like you're saying. But when you have order It stops what? The chaos and brings peace where it needs to be peace. And every woman wants, this woman, we just did a consultation, every woman wants a place where she feels secure, loved, and cherished. And so what you have to do, ask the man to bring order and say, hey, we don't do that over here.
That's right. That's right. And like and I hate to make this reference, but like a child, right? She's going to test that man to see what he's made of. She's going to test you. She's going to see if you're really about what you say that you're about, and if you are what you're supposed to be. Now, here's something that I said a long time ago. If you are tested and you fail, trying to keep her, trying to hold on to her, right, instead of onto your purpose and to your calling, then she's going to take you through the ringer, and she should.
Talk about that.
Yes. See, her nature is to, it's just like, how many times have you been watching television with a woman? And you just happen to look over and she ain't looking at the television, she looking at you. How many times have you awakened from sleep and you happen to catch a glimpse at your girl laying next to you, but she looking at you? You see what I'm saying? She's trying to test you to see if there are any holes in your armor. Because if there are, she's going to take advantage of it. Now, here's the thing. A man is supposed to be battle tested. If you can't handle her tests, why should she trust you to handle whatever the world brings to you and her when you're supposed to be the first line of defense? So she has to test you, right, to make sure that you are, worthy of being in that position.
And so what I've noticed when you say that, most guys can't handle the test of the woman and think that she's being disrespectful. But as you just stated, she's just seeing, can I lay down my femininity with you, or do I need to step back into my masculinity?
Exactly. And really, her masculinity is small in comparison to yours. You see what I'm saying? Just as our femininity is small in comparison to her. It's supposed to be a counterbalance. The seesaw works because it's an equal and opposite weight on each side of it. That's what makes it work. You see what I'm saying? And so when she has to try to be more masculine, she's already outside of nature and outside of the word. And
that's what we're seeing. We talked about, you said the yin and the yang. That's what we see now in this culture, where more women are in the wrong in their masculinity, and then what, men are in their femininity. Right. And so what happens, it throws the order of things off. But what the pimp knows is to always be in his masculine and bring order to her. One of the things I know what pimp does, and people say, well, you don't know nothing about pimping. You have no clue about my life. Right. But I will say this, what a pimp does, he first, one of the things he makes for her, she chooses. Second of all, he gives her instructions.
Right. Yes. And that's really what she's looking for. She's looking for a man to give direction to her chaos. And she'll even create chaos. One of the things that a lot of men don't understand about the psychology of a woman is they believe that women actually avoid and can't stand confrontation. Men need to understand that that's not true. Her confrontation with you is how she tests your manhood. So she has to bring about inertia, a form of inertia, to see if you can handle it. Now, past a certain point, you should draw a line in the sand, right? And the key, and here's the key, is real love requires detachment. So that's why the pimps say cop and blow. In other words, I have to let you go just as easily as I allowed you to come into my life. The door is always unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
It's always unlocked. You can leave whenever you get ready. But that doesn't mean that I don't love you. It means that I do love you. Because if I try to hold on to her when she wants to leave, right? That's called possession. That's not love. Love is about detachment. So if finding happiness is what she wants to do, okay, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I can say is that.
But that's the thing.
Go ahead.
So one of the things I think a lot of guys miss, because they're so attached to her and they don't know how to cop and blow, then they put her in a position where now she's toppling them.
Yes.
And what I mean by that, now she has the power, and she now can string you along in the direction that you want to go, because you don't know how to let her go. Once a woman knows, I mean, it's just the psychology of it. Let me break it down. Once a woman knows that you will let her go with anything, she ain't gonna go.
Yeah. And even if she does, a lot of times it's just a test, because I've had women leave and you let them go, say, okay, you know what I'm saying? But if you were what you were supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? There's something that I talked about in one of my audiobooks. It's called The Science of the Strap. This is some pimp shit.
Here we go. Here we go.
The white man used it on the plantation. Okay, and I'm gonna use this comb as an example, right? The science of the strap. The having some sort of way. It's not about whooping a woman or beating a woman, but having some sort of way of correcting her, so that she respects your position. So there's a struggle in the Black community, because between Black women and Black men, we were never allowed a strap to use on her in terms of from slavery. So she doesn't have a recollection in the last 500 years, for real, of you being able to correct her. Now, correct her doesn't mean putting your hands on her or anything like that. The old pimps say that if you put your hands on a woman, it's not an issue of game. They said you've run out of game. If you put your hands on her, it's a mouthpiece game. It's a conscious game. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to study her to find out what works and to keep her within order, because that's your role. A man's role is supposed to establish boundaries. He establishes boundary. Her nature in and of itself, because it's something else that Malcolm said about the nature of women. He said the base nature of all women is vanity. And so her vanity seeks to push the boundaries. Let's see if we can spread this out more. Let's see if the more how much will he allow me to get away with? Let me keep pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope. And the more that you allow her to do that, the less respect that she has for you. There was something I did a consultation yesterday. And I said something that blew my own mind, because I never heard me say it before, but it was kind of dope, and I wanted to share it. He asked me the question, how do you know that it's okay to receive a woman back in your life? That's exited your life. How do you know when it's okay to receive her back in? And so I went to that old phrase that the way that you get them is the way that you lose them. Right? So we understand that concept. That's why certain pimps, they never have sex with their women, because if they got her on the fly, because she just like your name, she like what you represent, I want to be a part of him, then she jumped ship from one pimp to another, because of it was really just transactional. So pimps don't want to give a woman a piece of himself. if he knows that the way he got her was on the fly, he's probably going to lose her the same way, right? So what I did was I said, number one, we understand that the way that you get them is the way that you lose them. And then I said this, and I never said this before. I said, now let's take that same coin and flip it over, right? The way that you lose them, right, is what determines whether or not you should take them back.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's good.
See, so what I was saying was, if she left on the premise of complete disrespect for you, not having any real respect for you, then drop the package and start over again clean. See, because you can't flip that later. You see what I'm saying? So if she left under the premise of a challenge, two bulls challenging each other, and you didn't buck, you didn't relent from your position, and then she left, okay, that's the blow part. You cop and you blow. You see what I'm saying? Under that premise, if she comes back, you know, the pimp says she still has useful miles in her. In other words, if she's still useful to your purpose, that's got to be the basis of it. If she's still useful to your purpose, not useful to your penis. But useful to your purpose, then you can let her back in. But if she left on the premise of a complete loss of respect for you, then the way you lost her is what determines whether or not you should take her back.
Excuse me. That is good right there. Y'all need to hit that super chat, that cash app. Y'all need to really don't play around with what we're doing right now, because you got technicians right now. Actually, no, not even technicians. You have surgeons right now dissecting some things in you, taking some things out and putting the right things in you. So you need to really hit that. You need to hit that super chat. You need to hit that cash app. You need to let us know that this is what you want to hear. Me and him have a private conversation. We can go in. We'll probably take you to the moon and back, Saturn, and come back. But if you need to really think about. And then all questions. I seen the question that came up. I seen you, Joe Blast. I see the question that you put in. All questions, because of the guess and the value that I put in there, that's on there. All questions now have to be super chatted. Just telling you showing what it is, because I said it yesterday. You have to value something that's presented to you. So you gotta value. So when you saying is she has to come back. See, she has to come back not because of your lower nature, but because of your higher nature and your higher purpose. If she fits that, and what happens, a lot of guys are so driven, been guilty by their lower nature, that they miss the true purpose of why the woman is in your life. And so what happened is she has to serve your purpose on some level. The problem is, we said this many times before on both channels, you don't know your purpose, and the pimp knows his purpose. His purpose is very clear. I need the MONEY, and we need to see how we collectively can do that.
Right. And when you take the MONEY and you take it to the spiritual level, right? Okay, it goes from NONEY to SERVE. Because our purpose as men is to serve humanity. And in that service will come the money. The money will come when you figure out how to serve. And the more that you serve, just like McDonald's, the more burgers they sell, the more money they make. And that's the whole goal of business, is to figure out how to serve more people.
That's all it's about. When you realize that inside of your, because the pimp is serving a purpose. He's serving a purpose.
He is.
And if you don't understand that, you miss the purpose of why the pimp exists. He has to be there. So you got to realize your own self, the average guy, what purpose are you serving to others, so that you can get the MONEY to lead to SEV, as I spell it right, SRVES. I wasn't a speller back equal part, but service. So it's
Yeah,
important. What service are you really giving?
right.
The average guy don't do that because they're looking at her as something that they can do, participate in the bedroom, instead of realizing that the whole world is your bedroom that needs to give you your pleasure.
That's true. And here's the other thing. When you focus on the nana, she loses respect for you.
Mm.
See, she uses that to pull you in.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fall for that, she's already lost respect for you. You're a foregone conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So this is why the pimp always had something. Usually they use money as a focus instead of her.
Mm-hmm.
So in the game, they say a pimp is married to the game. But a good P understands that a woman is married to it too.
Mm.
See, the average man needs to understand that even his wife in this society is really more married to the game than she is to her husband. Now, the game is first and foremost understanding, what did I say the base nature of all women is? Vanity. So the game of serving herself, serving her vanity, right? And what you have to do is present her with a role to play inside of your service to humanity. See, her purpose is your service. That is her purpose. And without that, she has none. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why everything that women seek, this is something that pimps understand. A woman is seeking pleasure. She's forever seeking pleasure. She wants to feel good. She wants you to entertain her. But your value as a man goes down when you're trying to entertain her. And one of the ways to entertain a woman is with your penis. See what I'm saying? That's just entertainment to her. And see, the problem is also a lot of women can't bond to a man anyway because her womb is damaged by the time he gets her. Now I'm gonna say something. Right? I'm gonna hold up three fingers. 3 fingers. That's all it takes for her womb to be damaged. 3 sexual partners. And by the 3rd sexual partner, right, her womb has already been crystallized to be only attracted to the primary energy of those 3 dudes. The problem is when a woman decides later that she wants to get married, that she wants to settle down, that she wants to build. They always say, I want to build. By the time she's ready to build with a man who's a builder, right, his energy doesn't match her womb. Because Pookie and Ray Ray and Yuck Mouth and Lil Momo and them, right, the local alpha males, that unbridled masculine energy, that doesn't match the energy of a builder. So she could say all day that she wants an Elon Musk type, you know what I'm saying? A Damon John type. But if his energy doesn't match the energy of the first 3 men that she has sex with, right? And see, here's the thing you got to understand about that science. The first 3 men is more important than all the other men that she's ever had sex with. That's why in ancient cultures, it was very important to control. What did I say men do? They set boundary to control the first 3 men, particularly the first man that she ever had sex with. So if it wasn't her husband, they at least chose a builder, a mature dude, so that her womb would be crystallized to be only attracted to that kind of energy. So women are looking at it as like dick. Excuse what I'm saying. Look at it as like penis. sex. You know what I'm saying? Well, he ain't hitting it right. He ain't this. They don't understand. It's a whole science to this thing, right? And she's the one that's screwed up most of the time. You know why? Because a man doesn't have a womb. We don't have a womb. So she has to be, and see, here's the key. What has to happen as we move further into this new normal of what society is becoming, men are going to have to learn how to heal her womb.
Dude, man, let me, dude, you all in what I taught this week when I talked about the sun and the moon. The man is the SON and she is the moon. But if she's been around different other suns, the earth that she creates is messed up.
Yes.
So what you're dealing with many times with women is the other suns that have damaged her moon.
Yes. Yes.
So now what you're saying, now you bring healing to that moon so it can reflect correctly in that what earth. Dude,
right.
we've been talking about this. I did a whole hour long on this. And what happens is, go ahead, sir.
The secret to it is this.
Mm-hmm.
The breaking process. See, in the pimp game, we talked about that we had to break her. So that means, let's say you was a pimp, and let's just say, since I'm narrating the story, your woman leaves and she chooses the PG, right? Or vice versa. We have to groom her to serve us. She may even be a veteran in the game, but she still needs to be groomed on how to serve us. You see what I'm saying? And so now here's the secret. Here's the secret. She has to break herself. For that instruction. And if she doesn't, then it's like Morpheus and Neo. Morpheus said to Neo, I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to open it. So if she doesn't break herself for that man, right, then you got to find, you got to let another woman choose. She has to break herself for you.
So when you say, this is for the audience, when you said breaker, so they understand exactly what that is.
Yes.
Go a little bit deeper when you mean by that she has to break herself so that they can grasp, because that's a question somebody asks. I hear them asking on the other side. Ali Lewis, salute to you. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you. So go a little further with that.
Okay, so here's the secret. The feminine principle is clay. We've played with Play-Doh before.
Right.
She's the clay. You are the object of the Play-Doh is to shape it into something. The hands of a man is the masculine principle. You're supposed to take her clay and struggle with it, work with it, right? And shape it into something. So you're breaking it, in a sense, from whatever it was formed as before you got it into what you need it to be.
That reminds me of a story in this book that we both know about the clay getting on the what? Potter's wheel.
That's right. Yes. Exactly.
And he's moving it and the clay is going around and he realized something's wrong with it, and he pulls it back down and actually works the clay again to get the pot that actually is just designed to serve the potter.
That's correct. That's correct. So what happens to the clay if it doesn't get shaped into anything? It hardens into something not useful to anyone.
Oh my God.
And that's the key. So she has to break herself, realizing that she is the passive principle.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the damage of a woman trying to be masculine.
Uh-oh.
She wasn't blessed with those hands to shape.
Mm-hmm.
She is the clay. You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
she has her responsibility, which is really not hers. It's really the responsibility of her family, her elders, her father, to find the right potter,
Mm.
to be responsible for that clay.
Mm.
I'm one of the few men who will say in one line, single parent mother vagina is the easiest to get.
Mm.
It's the easiest to get. However, I don't want to use something that I don't own.
Mm.
I have to own it. I don't want to make use of something that I don't own.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking about a womb,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're talking about her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want people to understand that when I say owning her mind, I mean, I want to be that which she has committed to
Mm-hmm.
in terms of that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the key to it is this: if you're not walking in your purpose as a man, you
There we
don't
go.
need a woman anyway.
Uh-oh.
So I don't promote the idea of just getting sex from females. I don't promote that idea. I think a man should be more responsible. Here's the thing that we got to understand from a biblical standpoint, and we know this from our history, from
Mm-hmm.
our past. A concubine
Mm-hmm.
is not a whore.
Mm.
A concubine is also what a king or a wealthy man has taken as a part of his responsibility.
Uh-oh.
That's his extended responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so being mature, responsible, and having the wealth to be able to afford that responsibility. The Bible prophesies a day, which we are moving closer and closer to, where 7 women will take on the last name of one man. This is so, we see that dynamic in the pimping. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like a polygamous type of situation. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about 7 vaginas to have sex with. I'm talking about the maturity and the responsibility and the spiritual know-how to be a steward
Mm-hmm.
of those women. It's
Right.
way deeper than that.
That's the key right there. A lot of men, because you talked about we talked about the clay, but we got to
Yeah.
talk about the potter and his responsibility, which you tapped into. And I think a lot of men don't realize that your purpose for her being is for you to be the potter and to mold her, like you said, for what? For service.
For service. Yes.
What happens is you have not looked at your hands and realized your true responsibility.
Right.
Your true responsibility was to plant seeds in her, but what seeds are you planting? Your
Right.
seed that you need to be planting is the seed that you plant inside of her mind,
Right.
a true potter,
Exactly.
because he has
Yep.
in mind what the potter what needs to do, what service. It can be a cup, it can be a bowl, it can be something you put on your table. But once you as a man realize that you have a responsibility, which I teach over here, the gospel of responsibility,
That's right.
then, like you said, then you should be thinking about even close to talking about a woman.
Yes. And that's key. That's really key. You have to have something for her to do. And that's not just, entertainment and fun. This is why studying the pimping is so important, because they have garnered the power of minimalizing the power of her womb over a man. And so a man has to have a purpose. He has to tap into that purpose and put that above her. Because the order still stands. It is what it is. God, man, woman, child. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, you have to maintain that. You know, you have to maintain that.
That's why it's so important. You guys, let me know in this chat when y'all getting this. I haven't got a super chat in a couple minutes. My phone hasn't rang. I don't even have my wrist, my watch on, but I haven't got a super chat, nothing. This is too much game right here that you will not get because of the combination. You got two, what do you call it? They said that they call us LeBron and D Wade together. I'm like, I ain't never thought about that. Okay. But you got this Midwest game right here, how it really happens. Y'all need to hit the super chat, the Cash App, something, PayPal, something. I took the other one down. Y'all better get this one right here. This is part 2. I think we may do this every month, or we may increase it. We see if the reception is there.
That's cool. I'm with it.
So you can really get what we're really talking about, because you understand what the pimp knows that the average man don't know. You will be head and toes above other men. Hence what I talked about this week about standing above the crowd. So, and so something Malcolm said, you said, I'm going to sort of bring it back to them, about the importance of only giving her so much emotions, but she needs to be dealt with firmly. In the book, he talked about that the prostitute would hear all the complaints from the tricks. But she would go back and listen to the pimp, and he barely gave her the attention or the emotions that she was looking for. So we could dive a little bit into that.
Yeah, and I would say this. There are different kinds of pimps.
Okay.
Right? You got gorillas, you know what I'm saying? And you got finesse. Right? On the finesse side, it's actually okay, and even better in the long run, if you actually love her. Because it is a relationship. You see what I'm saying? If somebody chooses to work for Xerox, right? They filled out the application to do that. And whatever responsibilities come with that, then it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? The world's oldest profession is not pimping, it's hoeing.
Say that again. Say that again for the ones in the back of the room.
Yeah, the world's oldest profession is not pimping, it's hoeing. So all that a pimp did was took the game that a woman created and he flipped it on her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just flipped the game on her. So that basically he took back the power that she was using against a man. And the power that a woman uses against a man, she actually uses his own nature against him. You know, your desire to provide, okay, that's a calling of a man. You know, to protect, to lead, to be protection and covering for her. She uses that against you. Right? The reason why this is important to understand is because a lot of women in the modern day sense have taken on the tactics of prostitutes to control their men. And I'm talking about married women.
Talk about it.
So you have to study, right, hoology, right? And the only person that knows that better than anybody is a P, right? In order to understand the dynamics of what a woman is actually doing in her relationship with a man. You see what I'm saying? A sub of mine a long time ago told me that, and I'm gonna try to make this quick. It was Mother's Day. His mother and his wife, he was cooking for them, and they were out on the deck. He had the music going, and he's making dinner for the two most important women in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And what they didn't know was that he could still hear their conversation outside.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the mother, his mother, was actually giving her knowledge and game on how to garner leverage in their marriage over her own son. They didn't know that he could still hear what they was talking about. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that what's passed down from generation to generation is whore tactics.
Oh my God.
That's why I call them acculturated prostitutes. So they may not walk the beat, right? But their track, right, is their home.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Their track is the greater society. And they do see the average man as a trick.
Mm.
So
What?
you have to study what pimps understand about women. There's something else I want to say too.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The sum total of what a woman is, right, is her past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So upon meeting a woman, that's one of the first things that a pimp seeks to understand, to delve as deeply into her history as he can, to extract and put the pieces together of what she really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because she may not even know herself like that.
Mm.
So if her mother was something that you don't want to deal with, right, then you need to be taking heed to that, because in most cases, the mother is the crystal ball of what she's to become.
Mm.
So you have to study her history. What's her relationship with her dad?
Uh-oh.
Because if she doesn't have a solid relationship with her father, she doesn't have an identity. It's a psychological fact that a girl gets her identity from her daddy, not her mother.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter how independent her mother is. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter how much money her mother makes. So you can't give your daughter identity, just like you couldn't give her life. You gave birth to her. Her father gave life to her.
Mm.
Because he's the one that put her inside of the mother. The female principle is the procreative principle. You see what I mean? So, you know, upon meeting a woman, and when you're analyzing whether or not this is material worth using, you got to look at the closest people in her life and see if you vibe with them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And one of the things that's easy to study is the people around her and the people that raised her, because they're not trying to impress you, because they're not dating you.
Mm.
She is, which means most women are wearing a mask at the beginning of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to pierce that veil and see who she really is to look at the people that raised her. And that'll give you some insight into what you're actually dealing with.
So the people around her are just a reflection of who she really is without the mask.
Exactly. And here's something else.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And here's something else I want to put in here.
Mm-hmm.
The SUN,
Mm-hmm.
which is the masculine principle, it fills her vessel, right? Right? Mm-hmm. This is the vessel, the female vessel. It fills her vessel, right? But it doesn't shape the vessel until she breaks herself to be shaped. He doesn't fill her vessel. In other words, by the time she turns 7, her vessel has already been shaped by the people that raised her. And in most cases, what she has been cultivated to be by the time she turns 7 is probably something that a man can't use.
Ooh.
So that's why you have to go and study her, what cultivated her. Because now you're getting a glimpse of what she actually is. And what will probably come out at some point.
Yeah, it definitely will. You would step on a man line, you would step on a bomb sooner or later when dealing with them.
Yes.
So that's where the pimp That's why a pimp always is doing what? A survey of who she is, of her past. He's taking notes. He's thinking, okay, I see this. I need to sidestep this, or she got an issue with that. Now I need to know. Now, when he has this information, he can better decide whether it's good or if he needs to pass or if she's ready to go to the next level. In the context of the word we were saying, she's ready to break herself for him.
Right. Now, I'm going to say this because all pimps do it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a hold of my ex's journals. And I was reading it like I was reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the holy scripture to understanding what you're really dealing with. Right. And so I went back into my ex's history, the first 3 men that she had sex with. And their energy didn't match mine. It was low-hanging fruit. And most women's is low-hanging fruit. That's why they end up alone later in life. A lot of women end up alone later in life because they damage their wombs early in life. And so I needed to know what I was really dealing with. And so that's what one of the first things that a pimp does with a woman is that he really does major research to try to find out what he's really dealing with. And also in the interim, he's actually trying to ascertain how much of himself he should pour into it. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of women, they okay, let's go back to my vessel example. She may be a vessel, but if she has little holes all around it, no matter how much light you pour in, it's just going to pour out. And so that's a vessel that is not worth dealing with. See, again, she would have to break herself, and that's very difficult for her to break herself once she's already been shaped. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important. She may literally have to have this whole thing completely smashed, right? And then maybe the pieces of her put back into a form of clay to be reshaped. And that's very difficult to do. That's very difficult for a woman to do. So you really want to know about those first 7 years of her life, because that's going to really give you some insight into what you're dealing with and whether or not it's something that you can work with or not. You know?
So let me say this right quick. Thanks to the super chat that was going, Roscoe. I see you right there, and I seen you, Alan. You just sent something on Cash App. Thank you for what you're doing, giving towards the game. Hit the like button, hit the fire signs in the chat room, because with the level that you're getting, we're gonna go a little bit further past the time. I only go an hour, but this is so good. We're going a little bit longer.
Let's go.
Yeah, because I want you to really digest what we're saying. That's what we're doing. Like in class, we had a little study break and then we go back into it. So I really want you to get what's being said. We are not speaking disparagingly of women. We're explaining it exactly how it is. I want nobody to about, he hate no women. He don't love women. He talked about them. No. We're explaining exactly how it is. Right. Because what happens is, if you don't know this man, you're going to still be dealing with broken vessels, trying to fix them. And then if you don't know, because there's women who watch this too. If you don't understand your position, woman, guess what's going to happen? You're going to constantly deal with potters who are constantly trying to hurt you instead of trying to heal you and make you to something that is useful.
Right. Yes. And see, women have to understand the importance of masculinity, because you're raising a generation of males that don't know how to lead, all because you selfishly want to be in control of things. And so when you oppose nature, right, then you're actually shooting yourself in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
And women don't understand that. You know what I mean? They want to be in charge. I had an ex tell me this one time. She actually said this.
Mm-hmm.
She became frustrated at her inability to get me to do what she wanted to do. She became totally frustrated, and like a child, it just burst out of her. And one day in her frustration, she said, I want to be the man in the relationship. She said, I want to know what it feels like to run things. She was that frustrated that it just came out. And well, that was never going to happen. But you know, but the gist of it is, just like all of them, at some point, she came back too. She came back. And once we split and went separate ways, because I stand on my square. It's cap and blow. Meaning, it doesn't mean that I want you to go, but you're free to go. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. As long as I'm about what I say that I'm about. You see what I mean? Then, you know, it's just a matter of time. And here's something else I want to say too. When you drop seeds on the fertile soil of a woman's consciousness, what actually waters that and germinates that seed underneath the earth of her consciousness is this. Time. She may not get it right now, but let life teach her. See, if a woman doesn't respect your presence, you have to let her respect your absence.
Stop. Say that again. I want that in the chat room. If she does not respect your what?
If she does not respect your presence, then let her respect your absence. See,
hold on. I know you hot. I feel it. Like, put that in the chat room, because we at 29. We going past the time. If she does not respect your presence, what? She does not respect. She needs to respect your. I didn't say it correctly. Your absence.
Yeah. If she does not respect your presence, let her respect your absence. You see what I'm saying? So basically, it's like a moon that decides that it doesn't want to be within the gravitational pull of the sun. Okay, go ahead. Deuces. And when the coldness of that abyss out there, right, starts breaking you down, the sun is still gonna be in place. And right, and it's still gonna be order jumping off here. So you can go do whatever you thought, whatever your mama raised you to be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna still be here, shining, you know, bright like the sun. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes your words are not enough to teach her. Sometimes you have to let time and experience teach her. And like I said before, the basis of bringing her back in your life, if she comes back, is how she left. And that's really the key on whether or not you allow her back into your life. Now, here's the other thing. Sometimes by the time a woman comes back, your life has shifted and changed to a place where you don't even have room for her anymore. Because that's why they say you're in a person's life for a reason and a season. Right? Once that season passes, you see what I'm saying? Like Jim Rohn said, if you don't plant in the spring of your life, you'll find yourself begging in the fall. You know, and that's why in the Bible it says the poor will always be amongst you. Because there's always people who are not planting when they need to be. And that's what we're dealing with this whole situation with this COVID thing. It's really deeper than a vaccine and all that stuff. This is the universal change that's taking place. And so if you weren't planting in the spring, before this took place, you might find yourself begging in the fall. When
Uh-oh.
everybody else is reaping who planted, you will be amongst the poor. And so it goes the same way with a woman. The right man in a woman's life is there to plant seeds and help her to grow. Here's the part that women miss.
Uh-oh.
The soil has to be tilled.
Uh-oh.
And that's uncomfortable for her. So I ain't here to entertain you. I got to break this ground up, and I got to get that soil ready for this. And that's going to be uncomfortable. If you can't handle it, then deuces. That's it. Yeah. You have to see when a potter's working with that clay, as that clay spins, what's happening against his hands? Friction. There's a friction that's there. And so she can't grow without that friction. You see what I mean? So it's necessary. Fertilization requires, that's why I like that Mary Mary song, Dirt. You know, they said we need a little bit of dirt to grow. Right? If I was the producer of that song, I would have changed the last part of that lyric.
Okay.
In their lyric, it says we need a little rain to wash our souls. But see, the soul represents fire, right? What they call the still small voice of God within, the divine white flame within, that's fire. So what you actually need is to treat it like a diamond. We need a little dirt to grow, but we need a little fire to cleanse our souls.
There you go.
That's how I would have flipped that lyric. We need a little fire to cleanse our souls, because the fire is what the soul represents. You see what I'm saying? A man that's dealing with a woman needs to care about not just her body, but her mind, her body, her spirit, and her soul.
That's where we get the word husband. The term husband is husbandman. That is the term. He is the person who he is responsible for the garden.
Yes.
Husbandman is the person who is responsible for the garden, like you said, to till, to pull out the weeds, to do what?
Yeah.
To fertilize, to see what's going on. He waters, make sure there's the right sun there. He is the husbandman. But what happens is a lot of ground is not together, but a lot of men are not knowing their position in a woman's life is to be. I'm not saying for you to, not saying about, I'm saying to be a husbandman in the terms of being a gardener.
Right. Yes.
So that so that you can what? So that you can reap a harvest, because she's designed by nature to multiply anything that you place inside of her, good, bad, or indifferent.
And here's the thing about the understanding what you're dealing with as far as a woman. Okay. We are 4 part-type beings. Right? The 4 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, is also the makeup of man. So when you're talking about earth, right, you're talking about the physical body. You got to care about that, your own as well as hers, right? The wind is the spirit, which is the breath. So the Bible said, and he formed man out of the dust of the earth. That's number 1. And then he breathed the breath of life into man. That's the spirit. The third part that it doesn't say is that the mind never sleeps. The mind is always flowing like water. In fact, the brain sits in liquid. See, so the mind or consciousness is always flowing. So that's the water, right? And then the fourth element is her soul. And if you are the right man in her life, you are equipped to help her to evolve in all four aspects of herself.
Oh my God.
That's the key. Yeah.
And so I think a lot of guys don't know the real essence. And so while you complaining about her, you don't realize that your true nature of what you're doing, like you just said, is to develop her on all four levels.
All four
What
levels.
happens is we have too many of us, I'm guilty, I've been there, who only want to develop in one area.
Yeah.
In the bedroom, which is good. You need to develop that area, but you have not developed her in any other area. And this is the key. When you develop her in any other all the other areas, and if she decides to go, she will never forget the touch of a real potter.
Exactly. And that's the key. That's the key. And within man, let me take it a step further. Within man is four characteristics or aspects of himself that he needs to build in order to be able to sow into those four aspects of her. We all know about provider. Man got to provide. We all know that part. We know about protector. But it's two other aspects of a man, a development, right, that he needs to bring online in order to service her. So there's protector, there's provider. Number three is what's called the eagle. Because the eagle sits on high and has a long, broad scope of everything that's ahead. So his ability to plan ahead by using his eagle eye to be able to see afar out. A man does not just plan for good, he plans for war, he plans for positive and negative. You see what I'm saying? So that's your eagle archetype. And then finally, and this is something you rarely hear men talk about.
Here we go.
There is a healer archetype inside of you too. And the healer inside of you, right, can address those things in the areas of her life that where she needs healing. And that's not just physical. That's not just your turmeric and your this and all the herbs. I'm talking about spiritual healing, as well as her womb. But a man has to understand that until he has all four aspects of himself online, right? The master masculine, there you go. Right, Master Yao Niyamiki Morris. He wrote a book called Awakening the Master Masculine. Once you bring all of those four aspects of yourself online, now you're able to address the four aspects of her being: body, mind, spirit, and soul. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when I enter a woman's life, I enter her in a transitional period. She don't even know why she chose me, but she's coming maybe out of a religious understanding. And I've had Christians, Muslims, you know what I'm saying? You can mix it up because I'm spiritual. You see what I'm saying? But when she comes into my life, or I come into hers, or we cross paths, I'm there to help her to understand what she thought she knew on a completely different level. In other words, I'm taking the vessel that she was and I'm breaking it up so that it can be properly put back together again. She don't even know why she chose me. She thought I was there to hit that thing and the hell out of here. Pimps don't put that on no pedestal. You know what I'm saying? We can get to those levels, but let me throw this in there. A woman can't even have the highest level of orgasm until she brings the right chakra online when she has sex.
Mm.
And that ain't her lowest chakras. I ain't gonna even tell you what it is. We can chop it up. But she needs to bring a higher aspect of her chakras online before she can even have a full sexual experience.
Mm.
So I need to deal with all of those aspects of her in order for her to even have a full orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when your womb was already shaped by Dirty Dick Rodney.
Uh-oh.
I read the journals, and now I'm supposed to come behind Dirty Dick Rodney, some lame. You see what I'm saying? Your womb is an impediment, right, to her own growth. You see what I'm saying? So that needs to be healed before we can even move forward. You see what I'm saying? And so I have an audio book, How to Heal Her Womb. It's on my Pimp God app.
Yeah,
But,
so definitely, definitely you need to get that. Men and women need to get that, because there's a lot of wombs, like you said, who's been, I don't want to use that term, who's been formatted a certain way that needs to be adjusted so that it can produce the right energy level fruit.
yes.
And I think a lot of guys wondering why you may be doing something in the bedroom, but you're not doing anything, because, like you said, you have not opened up the other levels of chakras that are inside of her.
Yes. And see, this is why I constantly bring it back to love. Right? In order to have a full interaction that is productive, love has to be the basis of it. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of love where it's only proven over time. Like in a marriage, real love is something that's proven over time.
Right.
But I'm saying you have to have a love for yourself that you are automatically willing to give to her at the outset before you know anything about her. And so when you come into this situation, right, it's got to be some love on my part, because if I'm willing to deal with all four aspects of you and help you to evolve in that way, then I'm coming from a place of love. I'm coming from a place of healing. I'm coming from a place of having my ego archetype online. You see what I'm saying? I'm coming from a provider and a protector aspect. Now, the thing we got to understand about most men is that they were born naturally with one archetype online that's natural to them, but not the others. Most men only have one.
Okay.
And they're really good at that one, but not the others. So we have to understand that even being what you need to be in a woman's life, you first have to elevate and build yourself.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? And I encourage all of your listeners to get Master Yao Niyamaki Morris's book, Awakening the Master Masculine.
Yeah, they need. I'm trying to get your app to. That's when I got the camera, because I'm trying to look for. I'm going through my emails to try to find so they can get your information as far as with your app.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for it, but I can't find it. I'm looking through my emails now.
Okay. If you go on to YouTube in my description box, then my app link is there.
Okay, so your channel is, so everybody know, go to, what is it, Pimp God?
Yeah, Pimp God channel.
You go to Pimp God channel and you will find all the information you need to know to get the app.
Yes, in the description box.
In the description box.
And you have to understand, I have over 160 audiobooks.
Oh my God.
Over 160. And I'm dealing with a lot of different things. Business. I'm dealing with a lot of different things. And personal relationships. You know, you name it. I'm dealing with manhood. I'm dealing with womanhood. I'm dealing with a lot of different things. I made an audiobook one time called How to Treat Him. And so the sister, she bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And we chopped it up after she bought it. And she said, I'm not gonna lie to you. She said, the basic stuff that I figured you was gonna cover, she said you went way deeper than that. She said I was really blessed by, you know, the depth of what you went into. It was way deeper than what I just thought, okay, yeah, you know how to treat a man. You know, well, you gotta be like this, you gotta be like now. She was actually very you know, impressed with that.
Mm-hmm. You have how many again?
Over 160.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a brand new one that I just released today on the Pimp God app. And that one is called let me look at this. This one is called Black Girl Magic. Because they always talk about Black Girl Magic. So I went in deep on that, you know what I mean, to deal with some of those things that brought about that whole concept.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those in the chat room, make sure you go to his channel, subscribe. Please, you need to subscribe. You need to hit the like. We're going to keep going because we got some time. I want you, what we do on this channel, I know you've probably seen him. I want you to give the number for today for the channel. Because you know, I do a number a day. Because one time I was about to end the live and I forgot to give the number for the day. So what number do you have sitting inside of you that you want to drop for them?
38. Oh
my God. So the number 38 is the number for today. I'm putting it first. I'm the first one to put it in there. Pimp God. Oh, wow. He said, Pimp God and the Science of Greatness, 2 deep books, right? It is.
Thank you.
38 is the number. Y'all know what we do here. Put that 38 in the chat room. Because when you put your 38, it lets me know that that only people who listen this far will understand what the 38 means. Mm-hmm. It's the connection between you, I, and Pimp God.
Yeah.
So put that 38 in the chat room. There is a reason why that.
Yeah. And one of the things to think about that 38 is that 8 plus 3 is what? 11. Right? And so 11 is a very important number in this age that we're in now. And so when you start paying attention, you'll start seeing 11 show up in receipts from things you buy at the store. Sometimes you'll arbitrarily look at the time and you'll see either a succession of numbers that equal 11 or you'll see 11 in it. For instance, I'm looking at our live. Well, it just changed, but it was 1 hour, 19 minutes and some change. Now it's at 1:20, but that's still 11. You know what I'm saying? So when I started talking about it, there was an 11 there. You see what I'm saying? So just start paying attention to that, but you'll start seeing that number show up. Because it's a symbol that you are vibrating properly in this age that we're in.
And we are in a new age right now. And I want everybody to understand this. There you go. That 38. There you go. Put that 38 in there. That 38. You are connecting to what we are talking about. 3 plus 8 is 11. Mastery number. Double digit. So it's a mastery number. So you're coming into mastery. Didn't we talk about this before? So 38. So I want you to really digest what we're saying. This is called, we're doing a little break right quick so you can digest what we're talking about. But 38, because this is really heavy. You need to probably go back and listen to this in bits and pieces because what's going to happen is you're going to sense a shift in consciousness on how you see life for real.
Yeah.
Because of the vibration that we're giving off right now. So there you go. There you go. See? Mastery. There you go. You guys are getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. There you go.
That's right.
Oh, immediately click the link on the video and saw the video. Wow. And has 3. I immediately click on the video and saw the video. It has 11. Ain't that something? So what about Yep. I don't care about the dislikes, because if they really would have paid attention, they wouldn't even be here. Oh, but that wasn't for my channel. I don't care. The thing of it is, let's talk about this a little bit before you
Okay.
got time. I'm not sure where your time is.
We're good for now.
Okay, good. Let me check this right quick. I gotta check something. Oh, okay. Wow. We got 39 likes.
Okay, yeah.
Starting.
Okay,
So we right there.
cool.
The book is unavailable.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. When we get off, I'm gonna send you the link to his website, and then you can give it to your peoples.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to his website. And give it to them.
Right. So where you gonna, the only way you can reach me is where? On Instagram, because you can't get to me relatively easy like that. But I want to share this one thing about what a pimp knows that the average man needs to know.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of guys don't know this, and they think they know it, but a pimp knows that a woman has to get out there and actually put in some work and then come back and show her receipts.
yeah,
So can you talk about that a little bit?
yeah. It's like being a boss.
Mm-hmm.
What justifies a woman in your life are her receipts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what justifies it. I've been in the DMV for going on 3 years. At the end of March, it'll be 3 years that I've been in the DMV out of Cleveland. And I have guys that show me pictures of all these different broads that they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see them, it's different broads. And they're going through their phone. Yeah, this junk right here, this junk right here. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Well, since I've been in the DMV, I've been dealing with one female.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's white.
Mm-hmm.
I don't define her as that. You know what I'm saying? But I have made more money with her, right, than any of these broads that these dudes keep showing me.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's purse first, ass last.
Uh-oh.
Right? And in that time that I've been here, right, I ain't even hit. Right? Because it's about what I'm doing. I have 2 Patreons, right? And she runs both of them. You know what I'm saying? And then she's also instrumental in other aspects of marketing in terms of packaging and things of that nature. And so, and she went to school for this. You know what I'm saying? So, in other words, receipts, right? I give in truth her education purpose because my work is to be, like I said before, I'm a spiritual shoe shine, right? So she helps to keep me tight so that I can keep you tight. You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole key to the game is she justifies being in my life by her work. You see what I'm saying?
So by her doing that, is it true? This is for that one that just walked into class, that by her doing that, she gets fulfillment that she wouldn't get from any other place by her assisting in your purpose,
whether she knows it or not. Because you're talking about dealing with those that have a calling on their life. And being of service inside of service to those who have a calling on their life. There is no greater calling for a woman. Whether she knows it or not. There's no greater purpose to that. And as far as money, it's infinite if we continue to build. You see what I'm saying? And it helps to be a brand. I've been dealing with that a lot on my channel. brand versus commodity.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? See, a pimp situates himself in such a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, we know this. There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing. Solomon.
Right? Nothing new under the sun, but we can pinch off from the game,
Mm-hmm.
any one of us, and give it our own flavor.
There you go.
Right? Brand it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And once it's a brand that you can trust, you see what I'm saying? Then that's the whole point. A lot of men are not brands, they're just commodities.
Oh my God.
You see what I'm saying? They're just useful material. It's like the woman flip game on them to use them as material when she's the one that's supposed to be the material in the situation.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to develop yourself so that it's your unique expression of knowledge, your unique expression of love, your unique way that you even reprimand her. You know what I'm saying? Your unique way of standing on your principles, whether she stays or leaves. That's branding. You got to brand the game. It's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
But you, as a man, you want to come into something that she respects. I had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they said they was looking at my rug. I got a Pimp God rug in the living room, and they was looking at it, and they said, Warren, this is fly. They said, how did you come up with the concept of the P and the G facing each other? What made you do that? And I said, I just was looking at the Gucci G. Both G's are facing each other. So the PG was inspired by Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And so I put them together. But then in the making of the logo, right? At first, when I had to make it, you know, I paid somebody professional to do it. They put the P over top of the G.
Okay.
It was superimposed over the G. And then I was like, nah. I said, for whatever reason, I want the G on top of the P. Because I think it'll give it a different optics. And so it just made it a fly situation. You know what I'm saying? But the gist of it is, I've been encouraging men to brand themselves, to become a brand, become a body of knowledge and an expression of manhood that a woman will never forget. Just like a good cologne. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, one of the old standards of colognes, John Paul Gaultier. You see what I'm saying? If you are on a date and you don't have any cologne on, you might look nice, and that's nice. That could be memorable, especially with how you carry yourself. But if you got on that John Paul, you some of that green Irish tweed, you know what I'm saying, or something fly, then hey, or Pimp God cologne is the ish. You know what I'm saying? It's not a shameless plug, because it ain't no shame of mine, but the whole gist of it is that leaves an impression on her. And now you're starting to include her 5 senses into the memory of you. That's why even when you make love to a woman, having a certain cologne, every time she smells it, even after y'all good and done, she gonna always think of you every time she smells it.
Dude, man, you're giving away my game, man. You're giving away my game. Because they know when that Tom Ford is on, Tobacco Vanelli, trust me. And I make sure when I give a hug that it smears on her clothes. So when she goes home, she never forget who LDA is.
That's right.
They don't understand that. I'm gonna tell you a story, man. What I used to do back in the day, I used to put the cologne on the letters I used to send the young lady. Oh, actually, it was my ex-wife. So when she opened the letter, She's reading the words that I'm dropping, but she's also smelling the what? The fragrance that's
Right.
getting caught up in her senses. So the words and the senses are coming together, and now it creates a bond inside of her. So every time she thinks about me, she can smell me.
Right. That's key. That's key. Absolutely key. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
we are, man. We have went way past the. We the hour 32 minutes. I know. So you guys need to hit that super chat, hit that PayPal. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the chat room, because we dropped some things in here. I really need to break this up. I got to get an editor to break this up, because even the other one need to be chopped up, because there's so many things that were dropped in here, and we just be honest with you. We have just only scratched the surface, because it's way deeper than what we even talking about.
Yeah.
Way deeper, because we talk about the stars. How the stars plays inside of us. I just got a book that came today. I'm not going to present to the public behind the scenes, but it's way deeper. If you resonated with this, let me know in the chat room. I got what he was saying. I got what they were saying. This was on point. You're not going to get any interview like this conversation with two guys who went to elementary school together, deep in the game, who's going to share this level. You're not. Please understand, Warren B does not do interviews with just anybody. If you find another interview, let me know. It'll be with Ron Wills.
That's it.
I'm just being honest. I know, and it's a reason for that. Straight game changer, like the last one. Y'all, it was on point. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. If this has resonated with you, please let me know in the chat room, because this is you're telling me that you want part 3. Just let me know. You're telling me you want part 3, because if not, me and him would have a conversation behind closed doors, and y'all wouldn't even y'all would think you wouldn't even know what's going on.
Right.
So let me know in the chat room, because his time, like I said yesterday, is very valuable, as well as mine. That's why I chose to do it Friday, because I knew I had more time to extend it a little bit. Let me know in the chat room. I need to see that 38 in the chat room to let me know this is what you needed. Because we had 20, it says 28 people watching, but I need to see the 38. Said resonate big. Okay, good. This was fire. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Now we at 29. I need that 38 in the chat room, because that's a number that Pimp God has definitely. Oops, I put that in there. Let me know. There we go. I'm going to make sure I'm putting it in there. There you go. Put that 38 in there. It lets us know that you get it.
Yeah.
Or at least you're starting to get it. There you go. This was heavy. And to all my secret watchers who are watching behind the scenes, I see you. I see you. Because you think I'm looking on YouTube, but I'm looking behind the veil. I can see you watching.
That's right.
Anything else you want to drop, sir?
Let me see. I would just say continue to learn, continue to study. Because as long as you keep learning something new, a woman has to continue to learn you.
Stop that. Let's rewind that. Say that slower for those in the back of the room who just got their crayons out of the Corolla box with the 38 colors.
Yeah.
Get your color. Get that one out. When you do what?
As long as you continue to learn something new, a woman will always have to continue to learn you. Because every time you learn something new, you change neurologically. So she could never get bored with you. Because as long as you're continuing to learn, right, then there's always another level for her to reach. And that's key. Yeah. Like they say in the spiritual realm, flowing water is fresh, but stagnant water stinks.
Mm, 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 mm. So
And going back
are
and
you
going back
saying
to
that are
what
you
you
saying
say?
are you saying a lot of men are stagnant water?
Yes, because remember what I said earlier. The mind is water.
Mm-hmm.
So your water needs to constantly be flowing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And therefore, see, when you put water in a bucket and you just leave it, eventually it starts to stink.
Mm.
Your mind is supposed to be constantly learning something new. So whenever you look at, if you stand at a riverbank
Mm-hmm.
and you watch the water flowing, right? There may be a consistent current. And so it looks like, you see the current, but at any moment, that water is not the same.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not the same amount of water because the water is constantly flowing.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a constant flow of water.
Mm.
So a woman has to constantly get to know you. And that's what
Mm.
the pimp said back in the day. Always tell them something new and different.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it keeps them in arrears. That's what they say in the game. Keep a woman in arrears. You kind of keep her on her toes because she can't never grab hold of you. She don't know where you at. You know what I'm saying? You like Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? They swinging you right there, but they keep missing. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you want to keep growing. You want to keep learning
Mm-hmm.
because then you always have something new to show her and to teach her. But the
Mm.
key is you gotta walk it first. That's the key.
Mm.
You gotta
So we
walk
have,
it first.
so we have a lot of men who talk it, but they haven't embodied what they've been talking about.
No. And she's watching. She's watching. In my last relationship, and I'll just say this, my ex not understanding me. She still don't. And she got kids by me. She still don't understand. Um, I would start a project
Mm-hmm.
and then I would start another project.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would start another project. And I would start another project. And she thought that I was shiftless.
Mm.
See, what I told her later, she still don't understand me. But I told her, I said, when you're dealing with an artisan,
Mm-hmm.
right? The artisan is looking for the tool that actually resonates with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that tool might be being a barber.
Mm-hmm.
So at first you start with a paintbrush,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm pretty good at it, but then you pick up wood making.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was pretty good at it, but then you pick up another tool. I used to detail cars back in the day. And you
Mm-hmm.
pick up this and you pick up that, and you try different things. And then you pick up that comb
Mm.
and that pair of clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And you work with it and you work with it. And then it resonates with you. And I told her what you call shiftless was just an artisan looking for the tool that resonates with him.
Mm-hmm.
And once I found it, right, which was writing,
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? Then I kept going with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you have to know yourself. And even when you're surrounded by people that don't understand you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? That's also a struggle of evolving men.
Right.
That's a struggle of evolving men,
That's true.
especially if you have any genius in you. They don't understand your process. They don't understand your process.
I think
Here's,
that's go ahead.
here's the key.
Mm-hmm.
They may not understand me, but I do.
Mm.
And I understand them.
Mm.
I always did. I always understood my women.
Mm-hmm.
And making her happy ain't my responsibility. That's her
Uh-oh.
responsibility. So thinking that, oh, well, he didn't make me happy, or he didn't, stick yourself. I'm not responsible for your happiness. You are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never put the responsibility of my happiness on no woman. Because that's not her responsibility.
Not.
Love, happiness, joy, peace, these are things you share with other people.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But you can't share with me if you don't have it.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm always able to share that because I know myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. It's all about knowledge of self and development. And that's really where everything else flows from.
I completely agree. He just went back in. He went back into the classroom just in that 10 minutes. Y'all better get what he's saying. Y'all, this is so much on here. More people than jumped on since you started talking again.
Wow.
Please
Wow.
understand what's going on this Friday. I think it's what day is this? The 6th?
I think
It's
so.
the 8th. It's the 8th. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You understand what's going on this 8th day into this 2021. We're trying to push you into your destiny by what we're talking about. If you did not understand the analogy about the tools, please understand where we're at. It's funny because you said I recognize the cycles in my own son's life. My oldest son goes through a cycle of 3. When he gets to the 3rd thing, that's it.
Yeah.
So he went to 3 different schools in high school and ended up graduating from what? John Hay.
Yeah.
But he went through a cycle of 3.
Yeah.
Now he went to college. He went to HBCU. Then he went to Kent State. Now he's in his 3rd cycle, which is military. Cycle of 3. I understand where he is.
Yeah.
Same thing. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you have to let them go through their process.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you got to understand, man. What cycle are you in your life? What tools do you need that resonate with you? Like when you said about your tool, I realized this is my tool. I have a tool called my voice, and this right here.
That's right.
And go ahead.
And the other thing is, I remember when my youngest boy was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We went over to a family member's house for a cookout. And they had a little chihuahua. Mm-hmm. And you know how them chihuahuas, them little pint-sized things, but they can be aggressive as hell. Mm-hmm. So my uncle told the family, don't let any of the kids near him. He was on a chain. They said, don't let any of the kids near him. They said, because we don't know what he'll do. We don't know. So, and he ain't normally around this many people, whatever. So we were sitting there and there were some bushes in front of where we were sitting, but there was space in between them. Mm-hmm. As a father, right? My relationship to my boys is not just sperm, excuse this finger, it's spiritual. Mm-hmm. So I was paying attention to this interaction because for some crazy reason, my 2-year-old, not my older son, he wasn't going to mess with that dog anyway, but my 2-year-old was attracted to that dog for some reason. Mm-hmm. This aspect in him that wanted to explore. Mm-hmm. My mother is afraid of dogs, right? So I noticed something. Mm-hmm. The dog was on the chain on the other side of the bushes. And my son, my youngest son, he got up and he walked over to the bushes, but he was on the other side of them, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just watching, and my mother was watching like crazy because she's afraid of dogs. Mm-hmm. So what ended up happening was, as my son was staring at the dog, it was almost like he was putting him in a trance, like, oh, he was connecting to this dog in a certain way, a dog none of us knew anything about. Mm-hmm. My uncle didn't even know what he would do. My son, for some strange reason, started moving in between the bushes, getting closer and closer to this dog. Mm-hmm. And my mother was looking at me going crazy. Like, boy, I know you about to tell him to, I know you see this. I didn't say anything. I just watched. So eventually my son kept staring at that dog. And then he came on the other side of the bushes. Now he's within reach of the dog. But the dog didn't even move towards him. My mother's absolutely hysterical now. But her eyes, she's looking like, I know you, this is, no. I left it alone because I'm paying attention from a spiritual standpoint. My son walked up to that dog, all the way up to this dog that nobody knew anything about. And he literally put his bare hands to that dog's mouth. And the dog just turned around and walked away. What I'm saying is that the right man, right, is dealing with his family on a completely different level. Master taught them that we are sperm donors. No. We have an importance in their life way deeper than even mama could give them. Because life comes from man. Birth comes through the woman. And that's the problem. Women think that children come from them. They don't come from you, they come through you. You see what I'm saying? But if I was just looking at the situation from my mom's view, I wouldn't have even let him do that. But I let him explore his own spirit. And that dog was sedated by him because normally he was aggressive. My son put his hand all the way up to that dog's mouth, and the dog just like smelled his hand and walked away. And once he smells your scent, right, there's a whole thing there now. You see what I'm saying? He'll be less apt to attack you even if he does. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm just saying that right father's role in the development of their children, they're going to be dealing with him, not just from the physical, but to what your point was, from the astrological. From the astrological. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to be dealing with him as a life path 4, which my youngest is, and as a Sagittarius. And I'm going to be dealing with my oldest as a life path 8, like his dad, right? And as an Aquarius. And so there's a whole nother science to it that they can't touch me. Can't nobody in their family touch me on none of them. You see what I'm saying? But that's what they teach the mother. That once you get the seed, you don't need him no more.
No.
But see, that's one of the things I read in her journals. Back to that journal, right? Don't say you can't miss what you never had. Because they teach Black women that you don't have to miss your dad if you never had him. First of all, if your dad was never involved, you wouldn't exist. You are his seed. Simple, Simon. You did, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're not. See this. What you didn't tap into. Y'all didn't got so much in what's being said right here. You had got so. I gotta switch this back. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So you got so much to what's being said right here. You was talking about those life paths. I don't even talk about that. I was just talking about that just this week, and a book just came in the mail today, and I can't bring it out to the public. So I'll show you behind the scenes what it is, and it's this. I know this book is so powerful because I know somebody who used it, and $5,000 came out of the book. Yeah, by using the book. Yeah, 5,000. And I dare not say the person's name. I'll say it behind the scenes. So with that being said, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming up. I want to thank you, Warren B, Pimp God, for coming up and dropping this knowledge, for sharing your wisdom, your insight, for going behind the veil and showing what pimps. We didn't even talk about it to the real. I don't think we even tapped into what really can be said. What pimps know that the average man needs to know. This was part 2. So
Yes.
so I'm gonna change it to part 2. This is episode 2 because I'm gonna have to change this to what we were talking about. You want to get number 3 that's coming up. If you missed part 1, you can only get it in one place. So you definitely, you said, what's the book? What book is that? So please understand the number for today is 38. I want you to leave a comment on this. The comment that you need to put is 38 and what you got from this. The comment you need to put, only we would know what the 38 means, and leave a comment in the after the video or as soon as a video renders. Leave a comment 38. It is to connect you to what we're talking about. I want to thank this Warren B. Let me see what you get right. What do you say right there? LDA PG. Thank you for and a blessing to you both. Blessings to you. We're just vessels. Give it to you what you need to hear. You decided to come up and you met another version of yourself in the form of LDA and Warren B. Pimp God.
That's true.
So
that's true.
With that being said, we have to end. It's almost that time. 3 o'clock. Roscoe Star, you know what I'm talking about. 3 o'clock. I'm going to send you a link because this is your day of reckoning what you did. He got counts. Please, he knows I'm talking about. 3 o'clock. So to all those who are there, to all my people watching who are not saying nothing in the comments, I see you. All my secret watchers and other content creators. Oh, I see you.
Right.
I see behind the veil. I see who you really are. And we must end that. Let me put this music. This track will be up. I got to mix it down one time. And once it mix one more mix on it, I'm going to have it up. I was going to put it on Google and onto Apple Play and iTunes. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. You can only get it exclusively with me. I got it. The music ain't playing. Let me drop it. Hold on. 1 second, sir. 1 second. What's that preference? Woo, they don't understand what happens. Okay. Yeah. They don't understand what happens when we got to do behind the scenes. Audio. Come on, audio. Build in, build out. Okay. We don't want it to go there. We wanted to go here. Input. We don't want the input. We wanted to go to system. Built in. Okay, we don't want that. Build out. Let's see what happens if it plays now. 1 second. Then we're going to end this. Y'all put that 38. Let me know you guys are live right now. Let's see if it. Here we out. Hold on behind the scenes so we can talk, okay?
Okay.
I'm about to cut the cameras off.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Peace. See you guys later. LDA, Pimp God. One place. We out of here.